All right. Are you good, Ben? All right. Let me do this. All right, welcome inside the Virtual Media Center here at the ANA Inspiration. For all of you on the call, please remember to keep yourself muted until we open it up for questions, and then we'll open it up and I'll be able to call on you. We also have some media back here, so thank you for joining us. And with that, I'm pleased to be joined by Rolex Rankings number 4, Nelly Korda. Nelly, how are you doing today?
Good. Pretty good.
Good.
Warm.
The weather here, it's getting pretty hot. How are you feeling just overall as we enter the season's first major this week?
Pretty good. You know, the golf course, I played it yesterday. It's playing really firm, but overall, I feel pretty good. My body feels good, so hopefully I'm in for a good week.
I was going to say, you're coming off a couple of top 10 finishes in 2021, and of course your win back at the Gamebridge LPGA. How confident have you been feeling in your game as of late?
Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of work into it over the off season, so it just feels good for it to pay off. But my coach is out here this week. I'm kind of working on my swing a little. I felt pretty uncomfortable with it. Actually, I've been working on it all season. So it's a process, but yeah, hopefully, I'm on the right track.
You're saying you're uncomfortable in your swing, but then we see these incredible performances as well. What are you working on, and why now?
It's actually crazy because it's a swing plane, which is, I feel like it's one of the hardest things to kind of change, especially during like tournament golf, because you don't really want to think about your swing plane at all. So it's something I work through on Monday to Wednesday, and I don't really try to think about it from Thursday on, because when you get technical out there, it can take you to some dark places.
But on top of that, what was it like being able to have another top 10 finish at the Kia Classic, and what was it about Aviara that brought out the best in your game?
Actually, I have not played Aviara since my rookie year, so I have not been back in a while, and I don't usually play golf courses just because I'm a Florida girl, and the bumpy greens, before a major, the last thing you want to do is lose a little bit of confidence on the putting green, but I played well, and hopefully I can take that into this week.
So you said you played this course. You're feeling confident in your game. What's different maybe about now than the last time we saw this course in September?
I think the grass and the firmness of greens. Last year, they were definitely a little softer, so you could spin it and you can come in with longer clubs and hold the greens. And I played the back nine yesterday, and it was very hard to hold number 17. So those par threes, or those holes that you're coming in with like longer clubs, it's definitely going to be a little difficult, and I think you're going to have advantages to hitting it long out here.
Last year in 2020, we saw you in contention here at ANA. It was a pretty good week for you, being able to come up in that second place position. But do you ever think about that experience of being in such contention at a major championship when you're going through your other times of contention over the past few events?
I've always said that when you put yourself into those positions, I feel like you get more comfortable being in those in the future. And I've said this so many times, but the more I put myself into that position, the better. So I feel like the more I get out of each kind of time I put myself into that position, I feel like the more I grow as a player.
Definitely. And, this is the 50th anniversary of this major championship. It's got a lot of history, a lot of traditions. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to be a part of the 50th anniversary here as someone who has done quite well here in the past?
Yeah, it's amazing. Honestly, we all love coming here. And unfortunately, the past 2 years we haven't had fans, but the atmosphere here is always great. The views are great, and as you said, the history too. So it's like I've always said, it's kind of like the Masters for us in women's golf. So it's definitely something you, as a professional golfer, you want to win.
All right. I'll open it first to questions behind me. But before I do that, if you do have a question on the call, please be sure to utilize the chat function. But here we'll open up first to Beth Ann.
Yeah, so what specifically did you learn from last year? What was your takeaway?
Just in those, anything can happen, pretty much. If someone's got it going, they have it going. I wasn't really disappointed last year. I played well. There's nothing you can do. Miriam played really well on the last day. But I think just in those high pressure situations, there were a couple of shots going down the stretch where, that adrenaline kicked in and I was starting to fly my irons a lot further than I normally would. So situations like that.
So 18 obviously has a very different look. How are you finding it with no wall and no grandstand? What will your strategy be?
Very different. You're definitely going to think about going for it. I hit a 6-iron in just short of the green, and it rolled up to the middle. And then I also tried to hit like a little 5 yesterday to land it middle of the green, and it went over. So it's definitely going to be very hard to hold. And it's definitely an island green, so it's going to be hard to hold.
Do you like it?
Undecided. I mean, I wasn't a fan of last year how close they put it to the green. I feel like in the past years, those palm trees were definitely in the way, like people were chipping around them. It's different. I know in the past this is how they used to play it, as an island green par 5. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how I like it during the tournament, if it's good or bad.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
When you come here, what is it about this golf course that you get excited about? Is it that you can let go with the driver, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's an advantage to hitting it long out here, for sure, because, again, like how firm it is. It's usually always firm. Last year was soft, and you have to hit it good off the tee. You have to hit decent shots into the green, and you get rewarded for good shots. And I feel like accuracy pays off really well. You just have to be consistent throughout your entire game here.
And there have been a couple of times over the last several years where you've actually hit driver off the deck here.
That was my sister.
Was that your sister?
Yeah. Come on now.
I thought it was you. I thought it was
No,
you on 9.
I've never hit. No, that was my sister. Yep, that was Jess.
Would you consider doing it? To reach one
Not
of the
something
par
that's in
fives.
my bag. No, I don't hit driver off deck. I hit my through-wood long enough.
So, do you look at the 5s here and say that's where we have to attack this golf course?
Yeah, I mean, like, you definitely want to capitalize off of the reachable par 5s out here because, as I said, I mean, the greens are playing really firm, so it's going to be harder, especially if they tuck the pins, to get it close.
Nelly, how different is your comfort level in major championships now versus maybe a few years ago?
I feel like a lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves when it comes to major championships, and I feel like I've just learned to kind of put the same mindset to every tournament and not put so much pressure on major championships. I mean, obviously you want to win them, but I feel like people get so in their heads when they get to a major.
Usually your parents are here for this one. Is anyone here?
They're in Miami right now with my brother. It's day to day. I ask them every day, can I book your flight? Can I book your flight? So they're with my brother, obviously. He's having a really good run, and he plays today again against, I think, the 5th seed. So we'll see after today. Hopefully, they stay there.
Nelly, was there a specific time, maybe once you reached the LPGA, was there a specific time where you translated or transitioned that pressure into that mindset that you just talked about?
I think it just comes from experience and kind of learning what works best for yourself. I mean, I always try to play, when I don't know the golf course, I always play and practice way more when it comes to a major on Monday. But here, I just keep it 9 every single day. It's more relaxed. I try to keep it more relaxed because, again, with a major, there's a lot more pressure that comes with it. And the more relaxed you are, the more you're enjoying yourself out there, I feel like the better it'll be.
What's the biggest thing you notice if there's not a crowd?
I feel like obviously like they pump you up and it's a different atmosphere, like the adrenaline, and if you're not having a good day, they're always there behind you too. So it's definitely a different feel, but we've kind of gotten used to it. I mean, it's been like almost a year, so it'll feel weird when we have fans back again. You're gonna feel nervous.
We do have a question online from Douglas. Douglas, if you could unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, hi. A couple of questions, Nelly. Coming here this week to Rancho Mirage, do you feel like there's some sort of unfinished business that you have to attend to? Or is it a matter of just letting it go and starting all over again?
Yeah, I mean, it's more of letting it go and starting all over again. It's honestly a completely different golf course. I'm pretty sure the rough was a little thicker last year. The rough in some areas is not as penalizing. But, you know, every week is a new opportunity, and go in with the same mindset every week trying to win.
And just a follow-up question then. What do you see as being the keys for yourself to play well and be successful this week?
This week, consistently hitting the fairway, consistently giving yourself opportunities and good looks at birdie. I mean, you have to hit fairways and you have to hit greens out here to play well.
Thanks.
One more question before we wrap it up here from me. You spoke about Seb a little bit earlier, but what's that like for you as you're kind of watching him do well, and also is he pumping you up in your family group chat?
Oh yeah, he loves to pump up. He's definitely the hype man of the family. It's kind of funny. We watched yesterday his match, and that was really exciting, and he's playing well. You know, he's putting a lot of work in, and it's so cool to see it pay off, and it's so cool to see him do well. Like, Jess and I are definitely his biggest fans.
How does he pump you up?
Oh, I get text messages. You know, sometimes I get them when I'm already on the third hole, but it's always I get them. I get a lot of text messages in all caps.
All right. I think that does it for us here. Thank you, Nelly, for joining us, and we'll
Thanks.
be up soon with Lexi.
Thank you.